Hello everyone and welcome back to Coffee and Crypto. I'm Dec, I'm your host. Let's get straight in. So, prices, actually just within the last hour, we've seen a bit of a drop in the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin in the last hour is down 3%, which is actually quite a big drop. So, we're seeing a drop across the board. Seeing Ethereum here down 3%, BNB down 2.5%. And remember that this is just within the past hour. So this isn't within the day, it's within the past hour. See XRP here down 6% in the last hour. So we are seeing a big drop off. As you can see on the chart here, falling off a cliff. So let's see how that turns out. Are we going to quickly reverse? Are we going to go further? Are we going to go deeper? Is that it all over? Are we in a bear market? We're still in a bear market until we break some levels, but are we going in a deeper bear market? Are we going to 12k? That's how how quick the narrative shifts in crypto. Yesterday, when the prices are above 30k, we're in a bull market, alt season. We've got Pepe the Frog taking off, and then price drops 3%, and then it's a bear market. We're going to 12k, we're going to zero. So let's just have a look, see how we got on. Technically, over the last 7 days, we're still down 2% in Bitcoin. So not too shabby, but that is the prices. In fact, I've seen on here my favourite. ARB #1 trending, obviously. I don't know who they pay or what they pay to be #1 trending everywhere, ARB, but they manage it. But yeah, they're down 12%. Right, so first of all, quick one. UK may have crypto regulation within a year, says Senior Minister. The lawmaker said the regulation will need both pragmatic and proportionate to ensure economic growth is maximised. UK could lay out digital asset regulation within 12 months, a British lawmaker claimed, saying the country wants to capitalise on the benefits that blockchain can bring to the private sector and the economy. So Andrew Griffin, the Economic Secretary to the UK Treasury, said the long-term vision is to let firms make the most of the opportunities from crypto assets with sound crypto regulation. For the first time in decades, Griffith claimed the UK government is now well positioned to regulate crypto in a pragmatic and proportionate manner. He also appeared to make a reference to the UK's exit from the European Union. So, will this happen? Is this just another news story to get people talking? I don't know. Basically, if there's any lessons that can be learned from the USA with their overreach, you should be crypto friendly, because what happens is, as the Coinbase CEO, forget his name, Brian Armstrong, said yesterday, he's thinking about taking Coinbase out of America. He's just going to move elsewhere because America is so hostile towards crypto, it's so hostile towards innovation. So he's just going to move it elsewhere. So Coinbase is the #1 exchange in the planet, the biggest exchange, and America has that in their country and their economy, and America's pushing it away. It's silly, but that is America for you. We're going to touch a lot on yesterday's Congress hearing with Gary Gensler, which was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it, but we'll touch on that later. But basically, maybe the UK is seeing what's happening in America, the mass exodus of crypto companies from America, and thinking, right, we can do this better here. We can be more open to innovation, and maybe we can attract companies to the UK. Well, that's what makes sense. If that's what happens or not, probably won't, because the UK seem to just copy whatever America does. So we'll see. That makes the most sense. It makes sense for the UK to be pragmatic and proportionate to ensure economic growth. But will they do it? Maybe that's another story. Maybe that's a different story. we'll just need to wait and see for that one. Just move that. So yeah, that is all. But I just wanted to touch on this. So for anyone who has seen on the channel, we've got a copy trading experiment that we're doing. Basically, I invested $2,100 into a copy trading account on Bitget. I copied a couple of traders, had a look, seen what traders I wanted to follow. I've done it, and within an hour or a few hours, let's say, or was it a couple of days? I'm doing the full breakdown on it on a video with the full information, but basically within a day, my $2,100 was worth $400. The traders had managed to lose a lot between them, so $2,100 down to $400. So I thought I was going to lose it all within a day. The plan and the idea for this copy trading thing was we're going to do it for 4 weeks. We're going to do a 2-week check-in, and then we're going to do a 4-week check-in. And I thought it was going to be all over on the first day, lose every penny in the first day. So thankfully we never lost every penny, and we managed to rise from the ashes. So here's the portfolio here. So you can see I deposited $2,100 here. This is when I started the copy trading, and it actually says on here that it only went down to $1,200, but it never. I don't know why that is. Is that unrealized or not? I don't know. But basically, the account was down at $400. But over the last 2 days, with the prices coming down, all of the trades on this were short. There was 19 trades open. They were all short. So over the last couple of days, we've managed to rise from the ashes above $3,000. So that's good. We're sitting in $1,000 profit for this copy trading. So we'll do a full breakdown on this, of course. There is another episode of this video coming out soon, and it will break down the full thing. But that is all for the Bitget copy trading. If you're interested in that, there is videos that you can watch on the channel, as I said, that goes into a bit more detail, how it's done, what to do, etc. And there is a link for Bitget down below in the description if you're interested in that. It gets you some deposit bonuses. But next on the list, we are going to head to the man himself, Gensler. So I'm going to read this quickly, but I've got a lot that I would like to say personally on this. So SEC Chair Gary Gensler declines to say if Ether is a security in a contentious congressional hearing. So Gensler testified before the House Financial Services Committee for roughly 5 hours on Tuesday. I think I watched it for around 3 hours. Towards the end, it was getting a bit much. But so the SEC Commissioner refused to say whether Ether, the second largest crypto by market cap, was a security during a nearly 5-hour hearing. Over the course of the marathon hearing, Gensler fended off questions about whether his agency was pushing too hard on proposed rules, providing too little time for the public feedback on these rules, and how it was approaching crypto companies hoping to operate in the US. And a host of non-crypto questions, including a proposed disclosure requirements around climate change and audit trails. Gensler's appearance was his first since the current Congress took over, and indeed his first in over a year. So the man himself was in Congress yesterday in front of, was it an empty Congress? I'd say it was maybe half full. It wasn't a full house, but he was in front of people, and it was good to see. So there was some people out there that were his friends, of course. They are in the same team as Gensler, so they were just kind of gaslighting. They were reading a script and they were saying, yes, Gary, so thank you very much for all you've done, all the protection that you've given investors. Thank you so much. You've done a great job. Thank you so much. And then what I liked and what gives me hope for America is that the next person would speak and they would go through Gary, absolutely go through Gary perfectly. They would just shoot him down. They would openly state all the facts on how terrible his reign has been at the SEC, how bad the SEC is, what they do, how wrong it all is, enforcing by regulating by enforcement actions, so just taking out enforcement actions on companies rather than regulating with the companies and communicating with the companies. It's just an enforcement agency, essentially. You can't get any information off them. So it was good to see. It was absolutely grilled, and it was very uncomfortable at times. It was very shaky and couldn't answer questions. He was asked 4 times by the chair if Ethereum was a security. And it was funny. So the first time he was asked, is Ethereum a security? So that's the question. Is Ethereum a security in your eyes? And the first reply he says was, yeah, well, so in the 1930s, he was asked, is Ethereum a security? And he started talking about the 1930s. Ah, it's mad. Then the chair cut him off and says, no, I'm asking you a question. Is Ethereum a security? Well, you know, and then he went off again. No, I'm cutting you off here. Is Ethereum a security? Yes or no? Yeah, well, I can't go into... So it was asked 4 times in Congress of this one person. He was asked of other people, is Ethereum a security or a commodity? Simple question. He is the head of the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and he couldn't give an answer. Is Ethereum a security or not? So he's out there saying that there is absolute clarity in the market. There is... these crypto companies should be in compliance. There is absolute clarity out there on what is compliance. There is absolute clarity on it. But the number 2 cryptocurrency on the in the world, he can't declare if it's a security or not. So how is there clarity? He won't give an answer if Ethereum is a security or not. It's absolutely mind-blowing how brazen these people are and these people can be. But I've been pretty negative on the US over the past year, but after watching that Congress meeting yesterday, there's a bit of faith in me that there's really, really good people within the American government that really do care about America, and they see through the nonsense of Gary Gensler and the SEC. There's another guy as well. So basically, Gary started off the hearing by saying, my views are my own. So an hour later, a speaker was asking Gary questions, and he says, you says at the start of this meeting, my views are my own. Why did you say that? Why did you use that language at the very start? And the reason for this is, So the man then asked him a question, and he says, I can't give you the answer from the SEC. And the guy was saying, you are the head, you are the chairman of an organisation, and you can't give an answer on behalf of that organisation. Why are you there? What do you do then? What is your authority? Why can you not speak on behalf of the organisation that you're the chairman of? Why? Why are you here? And it's all fugazi. So Gary's saying, no, so there's 5 people, it's a committee, it's not just me, it's a committee. And he was like, so why are you here then? Why is the committee not here? Why can we not get an answer? You're here to answer, but you're saying that anything that you say is your own opinion. And that was the same with the previous chairman. No, that was the same with Bill Hinman from the SEC as well. His get out clause was, it's my opinion. It's my own opinion. So it's not the opinion of the SEC. So it's all a fugazi. It's all nonsense. But it was good to see Gensler being absolutely grilled. And yeah, it brings back a bit of hope for America that they will get rid of Gensler. They will get rid of him. So will it go to a vote and then they get rid of him? They will, but as we discovered yesterday, it's not just Gensler. There is a committee of 5. So maybe the other 4 people in that committee, they're the ones that are pulling the strings, but then they send out Gensler, the puppet, as the chairman with no authority to speak on behalf of the SEC. What is the point in that? It makes zero sense. But again, it's the American government for you. Another thing they were discussing yesterday, which is ludicrous as well, is what is it they call it again? It's green. Basically, the emissions of companies. Companies are going to need to basically register their emissions with the SEC so that the SEC can protect investors who want to know about the green aspect of companies that they're investing in. Total garbage, total absolute nonsense. And again, Gensler was saying, yeah, but we don't have enough resources out there to go after crypto companies. We need more resources. And then you had the friends of Gensler who, yeah, part of the scam, they were reading a script. So Gary, all scripted. So it was funny to see total scripted with Gensler and then unscripted against Gensler. So the scripted, they seem to me like aliens sometimes, these people. I don't know if it's how compromised they are, but they just seem like aliens to me. So it was a lady, she was absolutely brutal. She was so bad. So Gary, you mentioned that you needed more resources for crypto regulation. What are these resources that you need? And then Gary would say an answer. So do you think if you got these resources that you would, like, just so robotic and alien and just fake, just so fake? But yeah, it was good. It was good to see. Basically, it was split roughly down the middle of people who were backing Gensler and people who were just outright calling him out. It was good to see. It was really good to see. It brung hope that there is hope for America, because there is people that do actually care. There's people that do basically want to help the US and they aren't corrupted. And Gary was asked a lot of tough questions as well about Hillary Clinton, about what was the other things he was asked. I can't remember just now, but he was asked a lot of tough questions, and you're under oath in Congress, so you need to answer, and you need to answer honestly. So when he was asked these questions by people who obviously weren't on his side, he was extremely uncomfortable. But let's read on. So Gensler's appearance was the first. So Congress must provide clear rules of the road to digital asset ecosystem because the regulators cannot agree. So this was McHenry. So he was great. He was the chairman. It was this man that asked, is Ethereum a security 4 times? He was really good, this guy. So he said in his opening statement, regulation by enforcement is not sufficient nor sustainable. Your approach is driving innovation overseas and endangering American competitiveness. And then his counterpart ranking member, Maxine Walters, took a different tone, saying the hearing was focused on Gensler despite more pressing issues such as the recent banking failures, housing crises, and the debt ceiling default. So that was another one. So Gensler was asked about the banking crisis and he blamed it in crypto. He blamed the banks going bust on crypto. How funny is that? He blamed it on crypto. I would also like to applaud. So this is the alien robot woman. I would also like to applaud Chair Gensler and his staff for the forceful actions the SEC has taken and dedicated more resources to go after crypto criminals. Oh, it's absolute nonsense. Oh, absolute garbage. One of the most contentious points in the hearing came early on when McHenry asked Gensler if he thought ETH was a security. And back in 2018, Finance Director Bill Hinman said he believed Ether was not a security. So this was the man who was the Finance Director at the SEC. He said Ethereum was not a security. So Bill Hinman says ETH is not a security. Then this was presented in court. I think it was in the Ripple case. And then the SEC said, that's not the SEC's view. That's not the SEC's view. That's Bill Hinman's personal view. But Bill Hinman was the financial director at the SEC at the time. So the State Attorney General of New York asserted in a court filing last month that Ether is a security. Clearly, an asset can't be both a commodity and a security. Do you agree? And then Gensler says it depends on the facts and the law. Gensler said repeatedly during the line of questioning and refused to say yes or no. So Gensler, basically in the US, different US government entities, some of them are saying Ether is a commodity, some of them are saying that Ether is a security. And then Gary was asked, what is it? Like, different agencies are saying it's a security, it's a commodity. What is it then? And Gary, the head of securities, couldn't answer. So how is there clarity if you can't answer that question? His reply, it depends on the facts and the law. Yes or no? Yes or no? So, next, so we've got Gensler's responsiveness and perceived lack of responsiveness outside of the hearing came up on Tuesday. So Bill asked Gensler if the SEC would provide its internal staff memo recommending an enforcement action against FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. You're responding to FTX requests solely with public available documents. You didn't give us anything surrounding the charges filed against Fried. So again, more corruption being unearthed and brought public in front of Congress. He was asked for this man was asked Gensler for documents surrounding FTX, and they gave them nothing. And this was a running theme throughout this hearing. There was different agencies within the US government. They'd asked Gensler for specific documents regarding to securities, regarding to digital assets, and they don't give out any information. That's the whole point. That's the whole kind of scam behind the SEC. They don't tell you what's what. There's no clear rules. There's no clear guidance. You can't go in and speak to them. They're a closed door agency, basically, that gaslight and say, we're an open door, come in. They put out these cheesies, anything, propaganda videos on Twitter. Here at the SEC, we're so friendly. Come in and see us. Like, we're protecting you. But it's all fake. It's all gaslighting. It's all total fake. So, yeah, there was a running theme of people asking the SEC for documents, for information regarding things, and they don't send them. They don't give them information. They don't hand over the information. Why is that? Because it's a big scam and they'll get caught. That is why they don't hand over the information. And that is what's happening in the Ripple case. The Ripple case, the law essentially is saying provide these documents, and the SEC don't provide the documents. The SEC is a giant scam, probably one of the biggest scams in America, the SEC. So yeah, that is all from that. And what was the final thing? The final thing was, so there was another good point. So here's Gensler saying Ethereum is not a security in 2018. But the other thing that I wanted to cover as well actually was another line of questioning for Gary was, so Gary, you keep saying here that you taught courses on cryptocurrency, you taught courses on blockchain, you were a professor in crypto and blockchain at MIT. Do you own any crypto? No, I don't own crypto. Okay, have you ever owned any crypto? No, I've never owned any crypto. Have you ever used any crypto? No, I've never used any crypto. Right, so you've never owned crypto, you've never used crypto, but you were teaching courses on it. So in the 1930s, it's just nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. So anyone out there that does in Congress that does want the best for America, they will vote they will vote for change within the SEC because they are destroying tech innovation. They're destroying crypto is one of the biggest industries in the world right now where the most money is generated, and they're driving it out of the US. So if it does go to a vote, they might get Gensler out, but the corruption runs so much deeper than Gensler. He is just the face. He is just the puppet that goes out into these hearings. And to be honest, I actually think he was a good speaker, to be honest, Gensler. I think that's why he got the position. Some bits he found very difficult to get out of, like when he was asked, is Ethereum a security? And then he would reply about the 1930s. They were a bit off. But apart from that, he was actually a pretty good speaker. I'll give him that. Like, I'll give him his due. He was a good speaker, but I think that's why they put him in that position in the first place, because he is a good weasel. He's able to weasel his way out of tough questioning. So, yeah. So that is all from that. But that is all for today's stream. Thanks for tuning in. If you could, leave a like on this, and if you could, leave a comment. It would be much appreciated. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel as well, because if you are, you get a notification if you come to, in fact, you won't be able to do it on here, but basically there is a tab where you can click a bell, and that bell turns on notifications so that when we go live, you're notified and you can see the stream straight away. Yeah, but that is all. But that is all for today's episode.